Good afternoon, everyone. My name is David King with Appulate. I'm here today with Greg at Falvey Insurance. We're going to be doing a brief demonstration about Falvey, their products, and a brief overview of how to submit to the Falvey on the Appulate platform. We're just going to start at 12:01, so we're going to give it just a few more minutes. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We're going to continue to give it another minute for other people to join. So we'll start at 12:01. Just be a moment. Thank you. All right, we're at 12:01. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is David King. I'm with Appulate. I'm joined by my partner here, Greg, with Falvey Insurance. Greg, you want to say a quick hi? Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, perfect, excellent. All right. So we're just going to go over a few things real quick. So with today's webinar, all microphones have been muted. We do have a question section that you feel free to ask the questions as we go. We may be able to answer some of them as we go, but for sure we will definitely answer them at the end of today. And in addition, we will be giving a copy of everybody this video. It's going to be a few days because our digital person from my marketing team is out on PTO. So it's going to be a few days till we can get you a copy of this video, but we'll make sure that Greg gets you guys sent a copy of this after today. So please use the question section for any questions you have. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get started. Greg's going to do a quick presentation over everything, and then I'm going to dive in and show you guys how to actually submit to Falvey. So Greg, if you want to start it off.
Yeah. Thank you very much, David. I appreciate that. So hello, everyone, and thank you, of course, for joining us. Falvey is excited about the partnership with Appulate, and we're looking forward to working with all of you. A quick introduction, though. My name is Greg Leewald. I'm the VP of Specialty Brokerage. I'm your path into the Falvey family here. I'm located in San Diego, 26 years now, but from New Jersey, and our team is located in North Kingstown, Rhode Island. I'm going to start off with a little bit of a background here, as you can see on the screen, because probably most of you probably never heard of us, and I never heard of us when I started here, and Falvey reached out about 3.5 years now. So Falvey's been around for 30 years, family-owned business started by Mike Falvey, who just this year released the reins. He's actually, his son Jack is now the CEO. If you ever get a chance to meet Jack, brilliant guy, terrific guy, pleasure to work with. And but Jack's father, Mike, started this MGA as a stock throughput MGA in London. And this slide is a little bit outdated because we're upwards of around 200 employees now. So I should get this fixed for the next time that we do one of these. So a little bit about Falvey. I mean, we are in a niche space, and so that requires specialized individuals. We have several merchant marines working for us in both underwriting and claims, both of which are done in-house for our MGA products. So we leverage technology with some of our products that I will discuss here, specifically our Shipper's Interest product, and we truly focus on providing world-class service. I think everyone said it, but it's definitely in our blood. We switch the slide. There we go. That was what the one I was just talking about. Let's move on to the next one. Perfect. Thanks, David. So a little bit of an elevator pitch for Falvey. I always say think ocean marine, inland marine, and logistics. But as we mentioned, Falvey started as a stock throughput MGA, and we have grown. Stock throughput still leads the charge with about 190 million in written premium, making us the largest cover holder in London for stock throughput. We've since added a shipper's interest product, which is, in a simple way of saying it, is a kind of a point of sale first party cover of goods in transit provided by logistics companies. So people log on to book shipments and they can buy our coverage right there. So we issue thousands of policies a month through our technology there. And if this doesn't make sense, I'm looking forward to talking to you all about this, but it took me about 1.5 years to really understand it myself. So understand if it's right over your head. That aside, we have a vessel pollution product. I think that's pretty clear what that is. We have the largest book of vessel pollution in the country. More recently, we've added our inland marine team, which has their broad appetite, of course, as well as the logistics team. The logistics package, our product is a package that has 5 lines of cover. It's all third-party liabilities. So it's general liability, E&O, contingent auto, contingent cargo, and cargo legal. And based on the needs of that client, usually your 3PLs, 4PLs, we can put that together and almost do an a la carte type situation with that product. And then, of course, we have my team who manages risks that fit inside of our MGAs and could potentially fall outside of their appetite. David, can you flip the slide? Thank you. So what we're going to talk about is our Appulate offerings directly on the platform. And that's motor truck cargo, builders risks, and inland marine. So first off, we'll start with motor truck cargo. This product is 100% brokered at this point. We are looking at bringing in a product internally, but I work with a multitude of carriers that have a wide array of appetite. As you can see here, we're both admitted and non-admitted. We can do new ventures, big and small. We can do single units. We can do fleets. We can do primary, typically up to about 250, but my excess markets can go up to 20 million. Quite frankly, I've rarely seen a commodity that we can't write. The boat haulers and auto haulers are a little bit more difficult, but we can, with the household goods, do the filings as needed. And we can also add in APD, some contingent cargo. We can even write the APD on a monoline basis. So from a builder's risk perspective, which is the next slide, we have our in-house binder, and which we can do up to about 10 million in TIVs, with that moving to 20 or 25 million come April. We haven't really finalized that yet. In-house as a new division, inland is pretty conservative appetite-wise right now. So they're not really taking in frame construction yet. I know that's what everyone needs. So we do have another 10 markets or so with varied appetite, including the frame construction. We can do a single project. We can have a reporting form or a blanket policy. We have all these available. We can do, again, non-frame, typically up to about 10 million, frame up to 10 million, and non-frame, I really don't have any restrictions. And one thing I can tell you is that with some of my products, I work heavily with London. Not all of these products, we have domestic and products in London that I access. But if it's a large project, whether it's, it could be a bridge, tunnel, those types of things, and you need some expertise, we can access those markets as well. High hazard appetite, of course, these are the difficult things. I do have people that can write the high protection classes, some coastal. It just depends on the risk to see if it fits, but we do like to take a look at those. So, Falvey and marine. So this is, inland marine is really No, well, first off, I want to point out that I'm keenly aware that MTC and builder's risk are both inland covers. But, inland is really a catch-all at the end of the day. So this is a good summary of what we love internally. And it just about covers most of what you write with almost any inland team. If you're not sure how it needs to be covered, just ask us and we'll figure it out. Carriers have different forms. They write things in different ways. So just let us know what it is, what we're trying to cover, and we'll work on trying to place it properly. We do love contractors' equipment, of course. We like large schedules. I write a ton of warehouse legal. It's probably my second largest line of business. Cash in transit, my team loves cash in transit. Fine art, some oil and gas. Just let me know. These are all things we'd love to look at. The 10 million working capacity noted here is Falvey internally on our binder. Now we are moving that to, again, as I mentioned earlier, up to 20, maybe 25 million over the next couple of months. So that's going to be terrific for us. And also not noted here is our new COP product, which is essentially a contractor's equipment product that can include BPP and building coverage. Now, the key to this product is that 60% of the values need to be on the equipment side of things, so it can't be building heavy. But we are seeing some great traction with that product. So I know I went through this pretty quickly. I was told to mention commission. All these products can vary. Typically, we start at 10%, no lower. But with volume, we can always discuss things. I've never lost business, at least that I'm aware of, for commission purposes. And lastly, I know I kind of touched on this, but some of these coverages may be a bit foreign. But
That's great, Greg.
I truly mean this is what we're here for. I sit on calls with, sat on a call the other day with a board where they were trying to figure out how to, anyway, David, are we okay?
Yep, we're good. Yeah, I was just letting you finish up.
Anyway, I just want to finish up saying that, oh yeah, thanks, great, appreciate that. No, but agencies big and small, we're working with all over the place, and our in-house team, they like a minimum of 10K on the inland side, but we work on deals much smaller than that. And if you're uncertain about how the risks can work, we can dig into that with you, find some contracts. Contracts are always very helpful in the logistics space. And I would say that's about it. Thank you for your time. I know it's not an unlimited commodity. So we'll be happy to connect with all of you on a one-to-one basis. And Appulate will let me know who that is. And I'll have my team reach out to you and get on my calendar. So I'll hand this off to Dave.
Great. Yeah, so we got a question for you, Greg, since we're transitioning, it's the perfect time to answer. Did for Loretta asked, did you say you do HHG moving and storage?
We do, yes, and we can do the filings.
And then James Plancard says, what is your appointment process?
Quite simple. I would say try us out, and if you enjoy it, or if we're moving towards a bind, you can submit and we can work on it. If we're moving towards a bind, I'll set you up with our compliance team. It's usually very quick. I can get that done in a day if you have all the information you need for most standard appointments.
Yeah, and that brings up another great question. I hadn't gotten into that yet, but Falvey is what we call an open brokerage on our platform. So those of you who are familiar with Appulate knows that our open brokerage partners allow you to get a quote with no obligation. And then if you want to move forward with that quote, you just simply follow through with the binding process, or excuse me, the appointment process, and then you can bind with Falvey.
Yeah, and to that point,
go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, we don't have any premium requirements. Obviously, our goal is to build relationships, but but there are no requirements from a premium perspective.
Yeah, Loretta's got a few more good questions here. DPS filings and how about military moves?
That's a great question. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I don't know.
Which one? Both or one?
I know we can do all the standard state and federal filings on the household goods. I'm not sure about the military aspect.
Okay. So Loretta, after today, Greg is going to reach out to everybody. He'll see that question and he'll be able to respond directly to that once he gets that information. But very good, thank you. Okay, so now what we're going to move on to is we're going to move on to how to actually submit to Falvey in the Appulate system. So if you've used Appulate before, this may be redundant for you, but we're just going to at least walk you guys through how to do that. So we're going to start with an accord. So I'm going to start with a 125. Greg has asked me to do a builder's risk today, so that's what we're going to do. So with Appulate, if you guys have never used Appulate before, let's actually start there before we go anywhere.
This is
So
contract
if you've,
equipment, isn't it, David? Just want to.
what's that?
This is a contractor's equipment one, isn't it? Just want to.
It's the one you asked me to do. Maybe it's the, yeah. When we get there, I'll give me just a minute, Greg. I'm going to show them how to access Appulate, and then once we get in there, you'll just help me select the line of business that we want to do, and we'll move forward from there. Okay, yeah. So if you've never used Appulate before, just simply go to appulate.com. Okay, and it'll look. Give me just a sec. It'll look just like this when you first get there. You'll see this 20 up here. We just celebrated 20 years. Or excuse me, we're celebrating 20 years next month. So we've been in the industry for a very long time. But if you've never, or you don't even know if you have a login, just click this login button here. First thing I would recommend you do is hit forget password down here and go through this step. You may already have an Appulate account. You may have used it years ago, or maybe when one of our partners joined us in the past, we may have already loaded your email in here. So I suggest you try the reset password. If it says you're not in here, then go back to this last screen and do account sign up. It's just a few steps and it gets you into the system very quickly, okay? But it's very important that you get into the system because you need to download the first piece of software that makes a really big difference for you, and that's going to be our uplink technology. This is what's going to help you bring that accord data into the system, which is part of the main reason why Falvey, among our other partners, have joined us, is to be able to bring that accord data directly into the system. So you would log in, you'll see a screen like this. You'll then go to tools up top here. You'll just simply click uplink. And then from here, you'll just choose what your agency management system is, and then just choose download driver for Windows. Now, if you're on a Mac, this will prompt you for Mac as well. So you're good to go either way. Once you've installed that, it's going to install that piece of software as a printer driver on your computer. And then from there, we just need to simply open up an accord, which looks like what I had done here. Okay, so what will happen is when you open up that accord and you tell it to print, it's going to ask you if you want to choose your current printer, but we're going to want to select the uplink driver now. Okay, now this is going to read a digitized accord, and how we can tell that this is a digitized accord is I would be able to select my cursor over this and I can click the numbers and stuff like that. If it has any sort of markup like you've put a digital signature on it or you've put highlights on it, it's probably not going to work. It needs to be a raw original digital accord. So for now, I'm going to hit print. It's going to ask me for those credentials that we just created a few minutes prior. I'll hit send here. Okay, and then now we're prompted for what line of business we want to use. Since we used a 125, which was a real generic accord, now we need to really kind of give it some more information. If we were doing a line of business with a specific accord, it would recognize that real quickly. But Greg, what line did we want to do?
Builders, excuse me, contractors equipment. We thought that would be just very simple for us.
I've got artisan contractors contract.
That would be in the Marine. Apologies. That's where it would go into.
Thank you. Okay, gotcha. All right, inland marine. Okay, so from here now we're kind of left at the screen here. We've got our insured name up here, shows inland marine up here. We've got an effective date. I'm going to bump this to next month. Just give it some space. There we go. So now what I can do is just go add markets. Just hit this little plus icon here. Okay, and as we see, I've got Falvey testing here. I would just type in Falvey. If I'm looking for Falvey, F-A-L-V-E-Y. Oops, spelled it wrong. Sorry. So we have Falvey Insurance Group. I'm going to use the testing today so we don't disrupt the production one, but you would normally select Falvey Insurance Group just like this and hit add market. So for me, I'm going to just use our testing for today. Now from here, it's really simple, everybody. We just look far right over here to start quote. Okay. Now we're prompted with this. So I'm just going to shorten the name a little bit here. So this is a questionnaire that Falvey has completed to request the information so that they can use this to get your quotes for you. So just follow along here, answer all the questions that are required. Now, when you get out down here, you're going to see a subsection that says fill out questionnaire or upload a pre-filled form. You can reach out to Greg and get that form if you want to pre-fill it out, and then you can just upload that automatically for him by just selecting that and then hit upload. But in our case, we're just going to fill out the form here. So I'm going to scroll down here. And if there's any of these red asterisks, this is sections we need to enter data into. So we can just simply hit this show required questions over here. Okay. And so now I've got this location. It looks like I need a building number on here. I'll just put 0. Property used underground. Nope. Any work done afloat? We'll say no. Any prior claims? No. And that is that, everybody. It's really super simple. At this point here, I just hit request quote. And then from here, what it does is it's taking this data and it's sending it over to Falvey. So what Greg will then do is he'll process these quotes and then he'll send you the quotes back via email, or he may call you to get more information, things like that. And that's really about it on submitting to Falvey. It's very simple. We don't currently have it set up. Or Greg, are you guys releasing them in the system, or are you emailing them directly?
Whatever's best. I think emailing is probably going to be our initial way of doing it, but
Okay.
if someone prefers it through the system, I have no problem doing that.
Okay. Perfect. Does anybody have any additional questions on submitting to Falvey, appetite guide, just anything? This is your time to ask, everybody. Okay, we got some more questions. Here we go. Can the following you downloaded? So, Henry, the only thing that can be downloaded into our system at this time is accords. The system reads the digital values on the accord and translates that to into our system. It feeds the data, it populates all of our fields. We are working on an AI solution in the near future that may allow you to bring in other forms, but as of right now, it's only accords. So you can't bring in Excel documents, PDFs, anything like that. It can't read that data. You could bring in the actual data itself and save it in the system, but we wouldn't be able to read it.
David?
Yes, go ahead.
I do want to point out, though, in reference to that we, in our portal, we do have, as you had mentioned, you can upload files if they're not accords. So if there's a supplemental, something else you may have completed for another carrier, they should be uploadable in the system.
Okay, so they could just use that. We'll go back to the questionnaire here real quick. So down here, instead of the fill out questionnaire, they could just use the upload pre-filled form and just use another form that's probably usable. Is that what you're suggesting?
Correct, and then it'll be attached, and when they submit it, we'll have access to that, and we can work off that application. So,
Okay.
the whole idea around Appulate and hopefully working with us, that you don't have to do extra work, right? So.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. I got some more questions here. James is asking, do you have a formal appetite guide you can share with him?
Formal, great question. I don't think I actually have a formal appetite guide, but James, let's talk, and I'll get you whatever I can that'll help you help streamline your mind to what we do.
Perfect. I've got a question from Betty here. Are there any early shipper discounts for the insured?
Early shipper discounts. I've never been asked that question. Does that mean, so if we schedule a shipment from like the 5th to the 20th and it gets there on the 15th, do they?
Oh, shopper. She said shopper. Are there any? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I misspoke, Betty. Thank you. Are there any early shopper discounts for the insured?
Early shopper discounts.
Could you elaborate more on that, Betty?
I'm not sure what she means.
while she's doing that, I'm going to do another one. Carlos had a question. Does
Sure.
Appulate for personal lines? Appulate does do personal lines. Greg, you guys are only commercial though, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Henry asked a question. Betty, if you can rephrase that for us, that would be great. Henry asked another question. Who can I contact for an Appulate product expert, not carrier appetites? Yeah, Henry, you can email support@appulate.com, and either my support team will assist you or our agent ambassador can do one-on-one trainings with you if that's what you're looking for. But if you email support and just ask for some help, one of my team will be able to get to you. You're welcome, Henry. Betty, I still haven't received that message from you. Are you able to, or actually, Greg, you'll see these, what I'm going to send you for after the meeting today. We'll show all the questions. Just go ahead and reach out to Betty
Sure.
directly there. I don't know if she's still on. Oh, no, there
Okay.
she is. Okay, great. Yeah, okay, she answered it for us. A discount for the insured who submits the request 7 to 14 days prior to the expiration of the policy.
No, I don't have that at this point. No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and maybe you and Betty can go more into it too. Maybe there's something that was not translating right. Okay. Loretta's got a question. What are some markets approached for warehouse, legal, and cargo?
What are some markets? Well, several internal here. Well, first off, internally, we can write warehouse legal on our Falvey binder. That's up to 10 million, and it's going to move to 20 or 25. I work with, I'm not sure what paper that's in. I work with London a lot on the difficult to place stuff. London is terrific with almost unlimited limits, and the way that they look at risk is terrific. But Balance, Dual, Berkshire, Kinsale, Tim Beam, SIG, Axis. I mean, I work with a lot of them, and we do very well with warehouse legal. Love to talk to you about it.
Great. Henry's got another question here. Henry, let's connect on this one after the meeting. You're asking a lot of really great questions about Appulate, and I want to answer them for you. I just want to be cognizant of everyone's time as well. So I will connect with you after the meeting, Henry. Thank you for your questions. Loretta's got another question here. Any commercial auto?
Not auto liability. That is not in our scope. I can do APD, motor truck, but not the auto liability. I know that's a big need for a lot of people.
Yeah. All right, we're doing really good on time, everyone. Any final questions? And like I said, Henry, I promise I'll get to your, I'll respond to you right after this meeting. All right. Is there anything extra you want to add onto today's meeting, Greg?
Not off the top of my head, except for this is a relationship business. So looking forward to meeting anyone who wants to work with us. And I also know it's a niche space. We're not an RT. We're not a CRC. We like to play in our space, and we're very good at it. So if you need help in these areas, please let us know.
Great. Yeah, and the Falvey team's been wonderful to work with. So you should all give them a shot if you're looking for this kind of business. All right, everyone. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up right here since there's no additional questions coming through. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. Like I said, everybody's going to get a copy of this webinar. It's going to be a few days till we can get that out. I apologize for the delay on that. But Greg is going to reach out to all of you within 24 hours. I think he's going to try today, if possible, to reach out to everybody. So look forward to that email. And hopefully you guys can work some business together. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, David.
You're welcome, Greg. Have a great day. Bye-bye.